So just to build on that first question, the next one is, do you think that stuttering awareness that we tend to see in the mainstream is that positive, or is it kind of a bit off in terms of it's maybe sending out like the wrong type of things to the public?
I let Callum answer this. He looks like he's excited to get involved in this one.
Though, as I think quite a lot of the media, when it comes to stuttering, is showing it in the fact that, look at this person's struggles. Because, like, what would they gain from putting someone speaking fluently on TV saying they got a stutter? They'd be like, no, they haven't, they're speaking fine.
Or even us here, we're not stuttering a lot. Yeah. And I can imagine some people who will watch this will be like,
like,
he's not like us.
They're
all right. They're fine.
They don't know what it's
But they
really
don't
like.
really understand what it's like. That's
I'm
know
avoiding
what
words,
it's like.
man. I don't know what you say.
And we know what it's like.
I'm avoiding and dodging. That's what I'm doing right now.
But like, you know,
But yeah, go on.
we
know
don't
what it's
sympathy.
like.
You know, I feel like quite a lot of media is pulling on the sympathy card. And like, obviously you understand why, because that gets views in. But is that what's better for everyone? Like, you don't want people to feel sorry for you because you stutter.
It's not the solution. The solution is we need to make the workplace a safe environment for people who stutter.
Normalise it.
And we need to normalise it.
Stuttering in life.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, completely agree with that point, actually. I forgot
It's
who...
like autism. That's normalised now.
Yeah.
It should be the same with stuttering.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because I don't think people fully understand that it's a thing, like it's an impediment or it's a disability, or like whichever word that people say it is, because I still speak to people who say, oh yeah, because I stutter sometimes too. and
so annoying. So annoying. No, you don't stutter, bro.
And I feel bad like telling them, and it's completely different when it's something that like you are literally worrying about all the time. Like the example I'll give actually is someone has a presentation to do on the Friday. They're worrying about it from Monday to Thursday, and that's stuttering as well.
Yeah,
for me, like, it isn't just, oh, I can't say like the words in that moment. It's everything else around it as well.
Yeah, it's not just the physical aspects, is it? There's so much more to it.
It's the preparation of speaking in general.
And then what happens after you speak as well? Like, if it doesn't go too well, then what happens to then? If that plays on your mind, then that's a whole week taken up of worrying about presentation, doing it, then worrying about it after. And then got to do the same thing again next week.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with my friend on the aeroplane, and he was asked me about it, because we've been friends for years, but he's never really asked me about how it made me feel or makes me feel. And I was like, when you first knew me, I wouldn't speak that much. If you did speak to me, I might give you a one-word answer. I was like, that's because like that particular day, it might have been too much of an effort for me to try to speak. So I can't be bothered to be going through that stress every time I open my mouth. I can't be bothered to be thinking about every single word. So really in that moment, I don't really want to be in a social environment. I just want to be at home on my own where I can relax, because when my speech was really, really bad, you're in a social environment, people are speaking to you, it's so much stress to try to answer them. It's like you're coming across rude to them as well. They think you're rude. They're like, this guy can't be bothered to speak to me. What's his problem? But he don't know what's actually going through your mind. He don't know that to answer, you're thinking about it, you're concentrating, you're not really listening to what he's saying to you, because you're just worried about when it's your turn to speak. So you're not really in the conversation properly. So it's just a whirlwind of just constant stress and worrying. It's not pleasant to be in a conversation when you're experiencing those emotions. So to go back to your original question, I think how it's portrayed in the media, they need to start introducing these things so that people know that if say they're talking to someone that's got stutter and they're giving them one word answers, it could be because that person is so upset about how their morning's gone, about like when they went into Costa and they had to get a coffee that they don't really like because it was the only one that they could say. That's now really pissed them off. So then they're in work, they had a work meeting, they had a really good thing that they wanted to say, but they chose to avoid. Now that's wound them up even more. Then there was another meeting or a conversation with a client that never went well, or they lost it because they weren't able to get their words out. So it might have just been a whirlwind of a morning for them, and they don't want to speak to no one now because they're upset. Yeah, right, that don't make it right. It don't give someone the right to be rude to you, but you never know how they're feeling. So I think in the media, these things need to be explained about the feelings that are constantly going on, because it's not all they're trying to show is the struggle. And when you see that, you need to give them a bit more time. But that's nowhere near.
It's like
enough.
the iceberg diagram.
Yeah.
Like the stuttering you people see physically is just like the tip, but below the surface is all of his shame, guilt, self-hate, self-loathing, embarrassment. All of that exists with people who stutter in general, and that's what is not being shared or exposed in the media. It's just about, oh, look, this person's stuttering really bad. Oh, I feel sorry for them.
How could
we don't
share
need that.
But surely it's harder to share on that emotional level, particularly if it's sort of in the fictional TV setting. Like I know, there's been a few documentaries, but even then they're focusing on the success stories of the programs that these people have been on, rather than how they feel. Like it's touched on in the first 5 minutes about how this stutter makes them feel. Then it's gone onto the physical aspect. And so how can we actually portray it?
Stuff like this.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Real
Really.
talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.